Why, hello there. Oh, and you know an itch waited just for me. It's John Anthony Francis Wilcox, and this is Saturday, December the 11th, 2021. I hope you're all doing well today. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere we go. Well, of course, today it's a bit rainy, so it's not looking too Christmassy, but in the heart, we've just 2 weeks until it's Christmas Day. I hope you're all having a wonderful time and you've had a wonderful week. I've had a very busy week of, was it 2 visits from the visiting nurse and one from the physical therapist? Next week, I think I've got two from the physical therapist, one from the occupational therapist, at least one, possibly two from the visiting nurse, and then my dear friend Grace Mary on Thursday brings me communion. So a packed week before I even get there. How about that? So during the week, I put up a poem I had written while I was in the hospital called I Am a Tree. I got some lovely responses to that. So thank you all. I'm glad it meant something to some folks. Um, it was one of those, I remember I was trying to deal with a longing to be home. And I was sitting there, and in fact, it was a Saturday evening that I wrote it. And I was just thinking about not being there and putting myself in a better frame of mind. So I thought, what about the world from the point of view of a tree? Because I love trees. They're nothing but wonderful. And so I wrote that in the early evening, as I best recall. My memory is not always perfect, as yesterday I did 6 Rainbow songs, and I said that one song was from their Down to Earth album, when in fact it was from their Difficult to Cure album, which was the next album. So when you go back, you'll see that anyway. You'll figure it all out if you've not yet watched it, and I highly recommend that you do. Please go watch it. Go check out some of my YouTubeage. What else is going on? I got a lovely package yesterday from my friend Larry, who sent me a CD of some recordings from the 80s that we did of a show called Radio Bizarro. We did a brief run, and I guess it's about half of them, maybe something like that. Anyway, it was interesting to go down memory lane. Some of it held up really well, some of it did not, but isn't that often the way? But it was really entertaining blast to hear that. Thank you, Larry. Muchas gracias, senor. Um, I got out a lot of packages that I needed to get out, thanks to my friend Joan and to my sister. Um, been in a lot of pain, but hey, that's going to be every week for the rest of my life, so I don't need to mention that too often. Uh, what else? Oh, I made a good meal during the week. Took a lot out of me to make it. I'll tell you, that's one of the things I'm finding. I don't have my endurance back yet, and I'm nowhere near that. But I made chicken with some sauteed peas, onions, and mushrooms in a creamy sauce that then, when it was done, I put some shredded Monterey Jack cheese and let it get melty all over the whole thing. That was pretty good. Good stuff. Hmm. And then the other day, much to my surprise and delight, my nephew said, "Why don't we have Japanese food?" And he gave me some money toward it. So we each had identical bento boxes of tempura shrimp, tempura vegetables, rice, shumai, California roll, and you had your choice of soup or salad, not both, so chose salads. Ended up giving away my salad to my sister that I don't talk to. I thought she would enjoy it, so there you go. Uh, but everything else was just wonderful. So that was a surprise treat, thanks to my nephew Michael. Talks with a bunch of people this week. Lovely long talk with my friend Joyce, who I have known for 37 years. Is that right? Yes, 37 as of August. So we were having a Beatle talk, among other things, and what she's doing in her life and going on. So that was always nice, and had several other nice talks with folks during the week. Um, and that's another thing. I had a weird dream, but it had a nice part to it, because in it I was back at the old house, and I went over and I was hugging my mom. She was laying on the couch, as she so often did, but on the other couch, not that couch, the other couch, the couch near the outside window. She was laying on that, and I went over and I hugged her. And it led to part of that dream. I was outside and I came across remnants of weird things. Checkbooks without checks in them, eyeglass cases, um, very much like this kind, like the soft kind of case with no eyeglasses in them, and Revereware pans. I have my folks' old Revereware pans, but they were like the big frying pan, but they didn't have the copper bottom. They just had a metal bottom, and they were scattered over the old yard. And it looked like it was sort of like late fall at that time in the dream. So I have no clue what that means. They were just remnants of things. It must mean something that the eyeglass cases were empty and the checkbooks were empty and the pans were incomplete. I wonder why that is. Maybe my mind didn't paint them finished, or maybe it means something and I just haven't figured it out yet, and you have. If you have, let me know. So that's going to do it for now, for today, for this moment in time. I hope you're all doing well. Drop me a line. I love you all. And it is beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I forget the next line. It's my Vegas voice, and I'm singing with no choice. So I'll say goodbye. Goodbye.